Look at any of these pictures, and you will see what looks like a regular relationship between two or more siblings. However, at least one person in each picture is diagnosed with autism. Before 1990, about 1 in every 2,100 children was diagnosed with autism, but the statistic has risen immensely since then. A January 22, 2007 issue of Time magazine listed that 1 in every 166 kids were affected. However, the February 9th issue of USA Today shows the latest number, 1 in every 150. An even scarier thought, claimed by this MySpace page, is that one child is diagnosed with autism every 20 minutes. In a rise like that, one could call the situation an autism epidemic.
I guess it depends a lot on how one defines epidemic and other things. We've generally avoided using that word here just because it conjures an image of, something raging through the community, and I don't think we have the evidence to know. There is a lot of controversy about, are we seeing more autism now, or is it that we're just better identifying it? Well, I think there are people that I respect a great deal and that have good opinions that say they don't think we're seeing more of it. I think we're seeing more of it.
While it is possible that the definition of autism has become broader, the question is, what is autism?
Autism, a brain disorder that causes kids to react differently.
It's somebody that has special needs.
Autism is like a verbal challenge for some kids like my brother, where some are unable to speak.
It's basically like a mental disorder. Like some people might say mentally retarded.
When you're first born, you don't really know how to talk or maybe sometimes walk.
All it is just that someone just has a hard time communicating. That's what I see it as, is that they have a hard time showing and expressing themselves.
Basically just a disability that makes people a little slower and that they need more help in life and daily activities and stuff like that.
They just are in their own world, that they're trying to talk to everybody else, but it's frustrating because they can never just actually tell you in words what they would like to do.
Autism is a disorder in the brain. It causes social problems, like they don't have as much social interaction, and it varies depending on the different person. Some autisms are really severe where the child doesn't talk and can't really interact with people, to kids who just have a mild social problem, they don't get along with people as well.
The best way I can think of to describe it is, they emotionally, permanently 5 or 6.
In my words, autism is like a spectrum disorder. There's something going on in the brain that isn't functioning correctly, and usually the autistic child be behind in things and stuff.
Autism, you want to go on schedule all the time, and it has to be, sometimes it has to be their way sometimes. Sometimes they could act like a 2-year-old in some ways, and then an adult in other ways.
It's disabled and they can't do much. Some autistic people, they can't talk as well, and some autistic people have problems walking and understanding, and sometimes they'll just ignore you if they don't want to do something, and they're really loud. And what's funny, all kids that are diagnosed with autism, they all have this thing with water. They just like water. I don't know why.
Interestingly, autism is a syndrome, so when we define it by symptoms rather than saying cancer is defined by cell pathology, so we don't have this kind of biomarker that shows us clearly what it is, which has led to some controversy and disagreements about how it's defined.
People are usually born with this condition, which usually appears sometime after the first year of life, and it's manifested by three major symptoms. One is impaired social relationships, the other is problems in language development, and the third is unusual or repetitive behaviors.
I describe it better in an example rather than defining it, because there's so many different types of autistic kids, some that are very social, some that are not. I would say the best way for me to describe autism would be to describe when a baby starts talking, saying goo goo gaga, parents find some form of communication with them, where gaga may mean milk, oh he wants milk, and eventually communication starts to evolve from that, something closer to milk, and the child progresses. That's a normal child progression. That communication starts from being a baby and learning the social rules of communication. An autistic baby will go, get milk the first time. The second time go, expecting milk again. And eventually those social rules that one needs to pick up to be able to be considered normal in this society are not as evident to them.